What the heck is leaky gut? My name is Dr. Philip Oob. I'm a functional medicine doctor, board certified in family medicine, practicing in Austin, Texas, and I want to help you understand what is leaky gut. This is becoming a more common name that's referenced, and I'm sure you've seen it on the internet, especially if you're watching this video. And I want to help explain what leaky gut is and how you can understand it a little better. Leaky gut is a microscopic problem and it's complicated, but I like making it simple because it just makes sense to me when I make it simple. So basically, when we're talking about leaky gut, we're talking about your intestines, of course, and we're talking about things that are crossing the barrier into our own bodies. But the first fact you need to understand is that when you eat food, it comes out your butthole relatively untouched. It's important to know that our mouth to anus is a tube that goes through you, not into you. So that seems a little weird, but it is a tube, mouth to anus, that does not enter your body. So food does not enter your body, it goes through your body. And then your body processes the food along the way, and it extracts the nutrients, it extracts the vitamins that it wants and needs. So what is leaky gut? The idea behind leaky gut is that food is not supposed to enter us unless we choose it to enter us. And now we've got a leaky barrier and that food is actually entering our body when we really weren't intending it to. So I'm referencing food, but there's several things in our bowels. There's food, there's bacteria, and there's yeast. So leaky gut can have any number of those that's leaking through. So basically, as the food passes through our intestinal system, we've got a wall. It is a sealed wall that nothing can get through unless our body chooses it to get through. We make stomach acid, we make enzymes, and we digest the food and we break them into tiny little components. And these tiny little components are then absorbed. So for example, lactose. Lactose is a sugar found in milk. You've probably heard of lactose intolerance. We can't really absorb the lactose molecule, which is a 2-sugar molecule. So our body has to break the lactose into those 2 individual sugars before we can absorb it. So if you are lactose intolerant, you can't break those 2 sugars apart, and so the lactose gets digested by bacteria, and then you get diarrhea, cramping, abdominal bloating, and all that. So that's how precise our intestinal system is. It absorbs tiny little molecules. If you eat an apple, it's got to be broken down into the fibers and the sugars and the vitamins in order to be absorbed exactly like your body wants it. And the remnants of the apple that is undigestible or unabsorbable or is just bacterial food turns into poop, and you know where poop goes. That apple never truly entered our body. So if you have any sort of inflammation, food sensitivity, immune response to whatever's going on in your bowels, then you start damaging your wall. And so the things that can damage your wall are bacterial imbalance. So if you've got too many bad bacteria or too much yeast, then that can create an immune response, because basically your immune system is responsible for policing what's going on in your bowels. So if you've got bad bacteria overgrowing or the wrong bacteria growing, then your immune system, the police, has to step in and say, hey, you've got too many, you thugs are out of control, and I'm going to police you down and get you into the right frame. The problem is that our immune system is like the military. It can't just kill off bacteria harmlessly. It's going to create collateral damage. It's like the police showing up into your neighborhood to arrest some people down the street with bazookas. It damages yourself. So as the bad bacteria try to creep into us, which bacteria want to get inside, unfortunately, our immune system has to push them away. How they push them away is with chemical warfare. They are creating bleach and other certain chemicals that kill bacteria, and the problem is all that warfare is right next to your wall. So what happens is your own immune system starts damaging the walls unintentionally, and then your walls start to open up, and now we've got leaks, and now bacteria and food can come through our wall. That is basically the definition of leaky gut. So not only can your immune system damage the wall, but bacteria can damage the wall. Bacteria themselves are creating chemical warfare. The bad bacteria are fighting the good bacteria, and the good bacteria are fighting them. And then there's yeast. Yeast is also creating a problem. And so all this warfare is occurring right next to your wall, because your wall is touching the food, is touching the bacteria. It's right there in the middle of the fight. So if there's any kind of immune response, any kind of allergic response, histamine response, anything like that, you're going to be damaging your wall and you're going to be creating leaky gut. And then leaky gut leads to a myriad of symptoms. So bacterial toxins, when bacteria die, they're naturally dying and being created every day. They have toxins inside of them that are toxic to us. They're survival for them, but they're toxic to us. So as our leaky gut gets bigger and bigger or worse, those toxins start coming into our system, and we've proven that they're toxic to the human being. They make you feel brain fog and fatigue and any number of other symptoms, inflammation, etc. So leaky gut can really cause a myriad of symptoms, and really it can almost cause anything, because so much of our nutrition and vitamins, it all comes from our bowels. So if you've got leaky gut and things going on, then it's all going to get damaged and you're not going to feel good. The other thing that goes on, and I'm not as good at describing it, but we've got a microscopic layer of what we call shag carpet or microvilli. These tiny little microvilli are one cell big, and they're flapping in the wind, and they're trying to grab any food products that they can, and by food products I mean tiny little molecules, in order to absorb them and put them into the system for you to be able to live and thrive. And so whenever there's immune warfare, bacterial warfare, this one little cell dangling in the wind trying to absorb stuff gets damaged very easily. So instead of a lot of surface area with tons of microvilli, it then becomes flattened, and you don't have as many single cells floating in the wind, and you can't absorb as much nutrition. If you can't absorb your nutrition, of course you're going to feel terrible. So leaky gut, once again, can cause a myriad of problems. Probably most famously right now, it's being known for autoimmunity, which I'll do a separate video on how linking autoimmunity to leaky gut makes sense. But for now, let's just leave it right there as far as how leaky gut develops, what it does, and what it means to you. So if you want any tips on how to reverse your leaky gut, the first thing is to remove gluten and dairy. Those are the two most common immune triggers that are going on in your bowels. I'll save you the story of why I believe those are the two most common, but that will be for a future video. But remove gluten and dairy. That's the number one thing you can do to improve that. And then add probiotics. That's number two. My two favorite probiotics are Ther-Biotic Complete from Klair Labs. It's a broad spectrum probiotic. It's got 12 different strains, more than 25 billion colony count. That's what you're looking for in a probiotic, even if you can't find the Ther-Biotic, that brand. You're looking for multiple strains, as many strains as you can get in a probiotic, and you're looking for as many colony forming units or CFUs as you can get. So that one is 25 billion. If you can find a 25 billion probiotic, that's excellent. The other probiotic I like to see in people with leaky gut is I like to use Saccharomyces boulardii. This is actually a beneficial yeast that doesn't grow in our own human intestinal tract, and it's kind of a bully yeast. It goes around kicking the other yeast out, and it can't grow in us, so it can't really create dysbiosis. It's been proven to decrease other bad bacteria and yeast, and so it's kind of one of my favorite ones. So usually I'm adding both of those probiotics in to help people start to battle their leaky gut. You can also add anti-inflammatory, antioxidant agents like curcumin and fish oil to help seal the gut and decrease the immune response. So I hope this video helps explain leaky gut and gives you a couple tips to start battling your own leaky gut. Of course, if you're struggling to get better, look up a functional medicine doctor. I'm still taking new patients, so reach out to us, email us, call us, text us. And if you know someone that's got leaky gut or you suspect might have leaky gut, tag them in the video, share it with the world. Let's help the world become a better place by spreading these videos around. So I hope this helps, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day.